Sean, I don't know if you can. I don't know if you can say. I'll tell you.
Oh my goodness.
I'll tell you all about it, Sean. It's fine. It's fine. Okay, it is completely fine. But anyway, Sean, are you ready?
Are you ready?
I mean, I'm fine. I'm ready. Whenever you're ready.
I'm ready.
Hello, welcome to the AskChefSalty podcast with your hosts Casey and Sean. We are your weekly home for news, insights, site musics, and everything in between.
That's right. You can also catch us recording and streaming on YouTube at AskChefSalty Podcast. Please like, comment, and subscribe to get up-to-date notifications of when we are broadcasting live, like right now.
Yo, Sean, so I need to say that we are video first, right? Podcast? And
yeah.
You can see my hand, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
like
so
here's
the
bowler.
thing. It's because I bowled, Sean. So I think I've been trying to wrap my head how to like explain what happened to me to you. So as we all know, I've already quit my former company.
Right.
That's that's no more. However, the karma is still coming from said company to me. So Wednesday we had an event. It was for like 200 people. I was carrying like 50 pounds of pork literally into the oven. It was a heavy thing. And you know how sometimes we get lazy and we use the tongs to grip the sheet pan and this to just kind of put it. I did that motion. I heard a click. I didn't think nothing of it. That was Wednesday. Wednesday, Sean.
Right.
Thursday, I come home. I think nighttime. I was going like this. I was like, why am I itchy? And then all of a sudden, a rash appeared on my hand, like on both sides. I'm like, okay, weird. Didn't think nothing of it. Friday, gone. Like I was completely normal, like nothing, and I was already out from the other restaurant. So there's nothing, right? I fully rested. Saturday night, Sean, when I tell you, I woke up the next morning. This looked like a Mickey Mouse glove. I don't know what the hell happened. Saturday it was painful. It was throbbing like a motherfucker. Mm-hmm. Sunday still throbbing. So Monday I went to City MD, the urgent care center.
Sure.
They x-rayed it, everything. They just said mild contusion. I'm like, okay, cool. At least we x-rayed it. You know, we
you know what it is.
They prescribed me some. I forget exactly what it's called, but anyway, it's like 500 milligrams or something that makes you feel like you can punch a wall, and you're like, wow, that's kind of cool.
So Tuesday, pain relief, but nothing for like the swelling.
Literally just pain relief, and I think pain swelling too. Or it's swelling. I think it's for swelling. It's like ibuprofen on crack or something.
Okay.
Tuesday night. So not yesterday. 2 days ago. Mm-hmm. Yo, the hand even looked bigger. Like it was. I was like, do I have to go to the ER? Caitlin was like, are you sure you're okay? Like it looks unpleasantly plump.
Now, did you do anything Tuesday to, put stress on that hand?
So before I had this little brace thing, I was just rocking the little wrap.
Okay.
And I think I might have had it too tight, and I might have banged my hand into. So it's also Tuesday was my first day at the restaurant. So
right, that's what I was wondering.
I was using my hand a little more than what I should have. Wednesday, I kept the sucker like right here. I was literally I was like, I'll do everything with one hand, everything with my left. I don't care. And that kind of made it better. Today, it's not so bad. I can do this now.
All right.
It's not bad. I can't do this motion though, Sean. Or this. So no side to side, no up and down. I don't know what's wrong. I went to the doctor this morning, my actual doctor. He said, are you allergic to something? And I'm like, penicillin. Because immediately he saw the rash. Right. And he was like, there was like a slight bump there. And he was like poking around. It's like, it feels like blood and pus. And I'm like, doesn't sound right. But anyway, he looked worried. I got worried. He's like, I'm just going to prescribe you antibiotics just in case there's this, I forget what he said. If not, cool, it will do nothing to you, but just in case that it will save your hand. I'm like, oh, thanks, doc.
That's save your hand. Yes.
Save my hand. I did explain to him that if I get pricked by, because he mentioned shellfish, I said if I get pricked by a shrimp or lobster raw, it affects me. Like it becomes itchy and inflamed. Same likewise with you with oysters.
Right.
He was like, yeah, it's in the same sense as that, but yours, you get a rash and it puffs up. I'm like, I mean, you're the expert. I don't know. So my wife went to go pick up the meds for me a little later. And then I went off to work. Today it was fine, nothing crazy. But yeah, man, that's what happened to that. And then some other good news I already mentioned to you. Or I don't think I've sent you pictures yet, right, Sean, at the new restaurant?
No, I mean, you sent me one action shot of you there, but
I did.
yeah, I haven't seen the food you've been making yet.
My suave face behind the behind the little wall. I don't think I can say it just yet where I'm working.
Sure.
I read the manual. There's no NDAs or anything, so I'm pretty sure I'm fine to tell you where I work, but I just can't.
Let's play it safe.
I can't do it. I can't necessarily tell you just yet. So that's to be determined, TBD.
Okay.
But the other good news is, Sean, I made $4,000 today.
Oh snap! Look at you, big baller.
Which is nice on the AMC thing. However, I mentioned to you that it is on an option. So, in layman's terms, if it goes up for where I put the bid, I don't make anything. It caps out at that amount. And I set it for $15. It went up 15. It went up to past 15, and it is now at $26.
Ouch.
So, to give you perspective, I bought it at $8, and it went up to 15. That's almost 100% profit. It went up another $10 from there. I could be sitting on a cool $11,000 today, Sean, but only 4,000. You know, it's okay.
Would you be doing this podcast from your new private jet?
Yeah. Right. That's all I'm saying. I could have made an 11,000 day today.
Testing the limits of your go-go in-flight internet.
But how was your day? How was your second week, man? I'm so interested. I haven't even asked you what's going on. What is? Give me details, bro.
Oh man, as much details as I can give you. Yeah. So we're into the second week at work, and things are good. Still kind of making our way through some of like the onboarding process. You know, we've been doing a little training and kind of getting our kind of exposed to the platform, and helping solve some issues and kind of getting your bumps and scrapes along the way. So that's how I would just describe the second week. Still promising, but considerably different work than we were doing before.
Okay, that's not too bad. At least you get to stay home.
Oh
and
yeah. No, there's no look, dude. There's no complaints about that. There's no complaints about anything, honestly. Like I said, it's been a relatively smooth transition and process, and I work alongside some very intelligent people, some very cool people, and there are a lot of cool groups in place that kind of make the workday and the time that exists a little bit after the workday a really fun and interesting experience.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
How's little Brooke? She
Brooke
adjusted now.
Brooke is adjusting. Yeah, I mean,
nice.
Yeah, she's adjusting. She's making her way to daycare and making little friends. So I don't know if I mentioned it last time on the pod, but like with the daycare that she goes to, like they have like a little web platform, right, where like they update the parents as to what's going on, every single day. So, talk about the things like, they had this for snack and this for lunch and this for dinner and, pictures of the activities. We were singing songs, we were doing dances, and the like. And every day was relatively similar except for today, because I saw my daughter made a little a little friend. Not that she wasn't being friendly with the other kids before, but
Okay.
but today in particular, the teacher was like, "Oh yeah, this kid came in and Brooke was like fast friends with them like all day." So that's good, man. It's good,
Oh, that's cute.
and I'm very happy for her because obviously with COVID, we were all here in the house together, and that kind of exposure and camaraderie is not something that I could provide. Like
It's
she's
true.
2 years old. Almost 40. Like, it's like
Why you gotta
just.
say it like that, Sean?
I'm just saying, but it's because it's the truth. It's like I love her, but like I am not also a 2-year-old. Exploring the world.
It's true.
At the same level. I mean, look,
Got it,
there's a
got
lot that we're still teaching each other. But yeah,
But
I'm
you're
glad
not a
she.
2-year-old.
I am not a 2-year-old.
Aw,
But
that
yeah,
is so nice.
it's pretty cool. I love those updates, especially the videos, man.
That is a welcomed, was it a welcome change? Let's just say it's a
Oh
more
yeah, for sure,
up
man.
to date
Yeah,
instead of like, what was that parent teacher conference? I'm assuming
yeah,
you can
kind
do that
of.
all
Yeah,
via just Zoom now. Like
sure. I
there's
mean,
no
like yeah,
necessary.
if there are any issues, obviously they're gonna communicate them, to you through there, and then when you pick up the kids. But again, it's just cool to see, get some insight into her day. Like the other
Wow.
day, they brought in some like butterflies,
Uh,
and they had them inside like I won't say like a plastic cage, but then they released them, and all the kids were
precious.
taken by that, and yeah, it's just very very cool, very cool.
Wow. So today's topic, Sean.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Um, I sent you the topic, and you're like, yeah, we're gonna talk about this. I was like, yeah, man. How else do we go about it? But before we do premise though, Sean, I do want to tell you in the new restaurant also. So picture this, KDS, perfect, amazing. There's two setups. So two low boys in front of us with windows, so you can sell. Similar layout on the stuff. At the far right, which is the app side, it's like mostly it's maybe two fried items, and then the rest
Okay.
is all lives. And then on the left side is where I'm predominantly at. On the sell side, the main entrees and stuff. And there's a griddle, a saute, and also a pasta machine,
Okay.
automated. So you just kind of press buttons. I was like, this is ridiculous. We can push out an entree 5 minutes, not even, like lickety split, like this.
Now you're saying that some of the processes are automated. When it comes down to preparing those entrees, how are the portions coming in? Are they coming in pre-portioned, or is this still work that you need to maintain yourself?
So I think I haven't seen a process as fully just yet, but
Okay.
assuming so, and I'm pretty sure I'm pretty spot on to this. Without giving away too much, we
Sure.
also
Yeah.
serve
No, that'd
pork
be a
and
little vague.
chicken, right? Those are pre-done in batches beforehand, like the day of for the next 2 days. That's how
Okay.
they play. That's how they play the prep here. Also the pork, its belly, done 2 days before, and then they hold over for the weekend, like at least a 3-day variance. I think that's what it is.
Okay.
The pastas are all pre-portioned, already done. We don't have to make them in house. The only thing that physically gets made is the sauces,
Okay.
the sides. Well, when I say sides, like veggie sides, like the cutting, the slicing, the blanching, the cooking,
Okay.
etc. And then everything else is either already bought, pre-packaged, and all we're doing is cooking it to order as needed, and it takes literally minutes. And it's so fast. It's like this. Like I mentioned to you, we pushed out it was literally like 100 items in about an hour, like easy, just flowing steadily, streaming. That's both to go and for dining, also. I was just like, wow, I can do this like in my own restaurant,
How
and
does
I
it
want to do it.
feel coming from the last place you were, which was, from what I understand, more of a scratch kitchen concept.
It's a lot easier and simpler, but also when it becomes so, then you have to take note of processes and labor. So right off the bat, I'm like, okay, there's 4 people on the line. It's not busy between 12 and 2. Like maybe only 2 people on the line. Like you don't necessarily need it. The chef is there anyway. Myself, I can float. Not a big deal. If I need to prep, we can go in the back. There's two dishwashers. One in the morning, one comes in at prep like midday ish, and then they're on for the night. They can also prep. So you don't necessarily need that many people. And then at nighttime, at least for the 3 days I've been there, between 5 and 7:30, it's like their busiest days, their busiest hours. And so you don't need all these personnel. Like today we had 6 people on today, and I was like, that's quite a bit. Hello, love. Are you both in? Oh, look at this, look at this party.
Hey, happy birthday!
Yeah, they're saying hi.
And happy birthday.
That's it. It's her birthday today. But yeah, so the processes are much quicker, much more efficient. I just want to say, but definitely replicable, like for all the different stores that they have. So right now there's 7 locations. So I don't know. I think I'm being brought in to manage a couple, or like maybe a few of them.
Okay.
The numbers and the processes, because they don't have those yet. Does that make sense?
Sure.
So they're kind of relying on, from the one store, they're sending out their main cooks to train and then to also order, which is weird. I've never had that experience. And then we kind of like oversee manage, which is again a weird thing I don't understand so far. So I had a lot of questions. I made a little list of it, and then I made an Excel sheet also on how to, like, what are the items, what it costs, etc. Because I can't see it physically since I'm not the one making the purchases. So I'm curious if the numbers line up to what their labor is, because that's literally like the main ball game for here. Like all the prep is already done. Like it's we don't necessarily have to do it from scratch. Everything is already pre-made, in a sense, like 70%.
Sure.
All we're watching is cost and labor. So I don't know. How would you feel about it? Like, remember from our restaurant together, it's almost 70, like 60% ish at that one. How did that feel?
Felt all right. I mean, it felt all right. And, definitely when things were slowing down a bit, I definitely appreciated the consistency and quality of some of the items that we weren't producing in-house. So, I could see how important that would be to an operation where, like, you just weren't going to need to have as many hands on duty.
Yeah, it does make it more efficient. I want to say, like, they don't have a commissary yet, but it wouldn't surprise me if eventually there'll be a commissary. Like, that's how I feel like it's going, that trajectory.
Sure, I mean, but as they scale larger, it would only make sense. You find some.
Right now, 7 stores, right? But there's only 2 chefs so far to manage 7 stores. I'll be the 3rd one so far. They're hiring some more, but there's still a lot that's I don't know. I got a lot of questions I don't have answers to. Hopefully, we'll iron them out. The chef that I was speaking to, he said Saturday, Sunday we'll sit down and chat, look at the stuff, further explain. But yeah, man, it's a weird feeling, and I'm just like, what am I just doing cooking again? That's it? Like I'm just overseeing. I'm literally just overseeing cooking, and then I go home. I don't know how to feel about it, Sean. Oh, another thing, it's 35 minutes away from me. So it's like a little further down. The other location, which is in New Brunswick, is like a little past, like just about almost southern Jersey, 45 minutes away, and we'll be there in a couple weeks.
So it's a bit of a hike.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like the same as yours, like an hour and a half.
Sure,
nonetheless,
but nonetheless, let's say a bit further than you were traveling before.
It's almost like I can listen to a whole podcast, like
yeah,
a
man,
whole episode, and I was like, wow.
I got through a lot of podcasts on the way to and fro.
Yes, that's how I fully understand that process. But it's still interesting how they build the things. Like, I wish I could tell you all this, but I can't.
Yeah.
I just wanna,
I understand. You gotta be vague.
Like, there's like 10 revolving items that just kind of get splashed around to complete a day. Like, I'm like, this is mindless. What is going on? Anyone can do this. The rough thing is when it's busy.
Okay.
If somebody doesn't know, since there aren't any pictures, or there's no spec sheets, so they're relying on somebody to like fully know. Yeah. So I don't know if that's what they came for me too. I'm fully, like, I'm ready. Like, I have that. I
was just about to ask, is that by design, or was that something they were just looking for someone to kind of come in and...
I don't know. From what I understand, the owner chef, he's not really corporate. He's just dining. The other chef, he's sort of corporate, but he's mostly casino. So I don't know if he did any of that kind of fine tuning. We're more specific with that kind of stuff. Like, we had specs, we had pictures, we literally on the line per station, per dish, what it needs to be, etc. Like, literally full and through, and then so much so down to the variance level when he goes into the computers. But I don't know how I feel about it. Also, there's a lot of Asians, Sean. A lot. I feel like I'm back home.
Hey.
It was the kitchen, however, is the kitchen, so everybody's Spanish. I'm brushing up my Spanish game. Yeah, and I was just like, hey, I feel good. And then I try to converse with a friend of the house. There's a couple of Filipinos, they don't speak Tagalog, so it's useless.
Okay.
But it's still, you're trying to go off of that. But nonetheless, though, Sean, so how do we tackle this? How do we manage our time while being away for so long with our significant others?
Yeah. Well, let me begin by
so I can tell you
something I recently experienced when I was going through orientation for my new job. So we were doing some of the HR portion of the onboarding process, and they were kind of like outlining holidays and days that we were going to have off. And as they were going through the list, through the calendar, I was obviously very appreciative of all of these things. And then I definitely realized that we never had anything like this, when we're in restaurants, right? Because the expectation is that you're going to be there in the heart of
all the time,
the busiest days, and that's always going to be evenings and weekends and holidays. So much so that like someone asked me like, hey, like what are your plans for Memorial Day? And being in the hospitality industry, it's like I was conditioned to like not think about that. Like why would I even work? Like, because you're probably going to work, or if you're not going to be, it's going to be some specific circumstance that makes it that way, or you're going to time shift that particular that day off, or that free time for another time in the week. And yeah, it makes things significantly hard to navigate around.
Did they say you can pick? Is that what it is? Like what?
No,
holidays are y'all?
They're off, Casey.
What?
It's not a pick. It's not a pick.
What do you mean?
No.
What do you mean?
Casey.
No, no, no,
It's
no,
not.
no.
It's not. See, yeah, exactly. And this is what I was saying. It's like there's no. Hey, we're looking at the holiday calendar, and hey, management team, we'll throw our names in a hat, and maybe one of you will get Christmas off, and someone will get Christmas Eve off, and New Year's Eve, and New Year's Day, and Thanksgiving.
Wow.
Like, no, it was just these are the
You guys are off.
days, and you'll be off. And oh, hey, well, this
Wow.
particular holiday, obviously it falls on a Saturday, so you'll be off either that Friday or the following Monday. And to most people listening, I would
Excuse
assume that
me.
they're not in the industry. So this is just the expectation of like, how things work in a Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 or 9 to 5 adjacent world. But when you work in the hospitality industry, for a lot of different reasons, this is not the case. It's just not the case. So yeah, I'm gonna give you the floor, and you can kind of talk about how you've managed your time for your loved ones around
I
the
think the
hospitality.
easiest way was I focused on myself. So for the longest time, even when I was starting, when I was going on this journey a long time ago, I was like, I know I have to kind of sacrifice all these dates because you're literally going to work all those, and then nobody really understood. Like there was no one in my friend circle that wanted to actually be cooks or even work somewhere similar. Everybody was off the same days. Everybody was
Sure.
off on holidays. I'm literally the only dude that's working. And every time they try to call, and I'm like, bro, I'm sorry, like I'm working, and I kind of feel like for like the longest time, like it was still kind of nagging at me, like, oh, I can't be there. Sorry. They're like, oh man, this weekend we're gonna do this. No such thing. In our business, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, literally we're in the restaurant because those are our busiest days.
Yeah.
My Saturday, Sunday is Monday, Tuesday,
Right.
sorta, right? I was like, we could do something Monday, Tuesday, and they're like, nah, man, I'm working. I was
Yeah.
like, well, that's the
Right.
point, right? It's like the same kind of thing. So to kind of put that off and just keep on working on, like saying, oh man, it's okay, it's fine, it will get better. It doesn't really. Just kind of gets worse. The busier you are, especially the busier your location is, then you're just like, oh man, this is like prior. I was at a country club. 100-hour work weeks. Like what
Sure.
is that even healthy? Like this happened to my hand.
Right.
I don't know what to tell you. And then my wife also, she works in a hospital quite a bit. She's putting in a lot of hours, so we're basically like hi, bye, good night, sleep, and then kind of repeat. But on days that we're both together for like the 4 or 5 hours, we watch TV.
Yeah. Yeah.
we
Yeah. I
we
mean,
catch up on
it's
everything. That's like our literal pastime.
sure.
We joke, and then at nighttime now we've been doing TikToks quite a bit
Okay.
for like the past year. Like we call it, we'll do talk. So we'll watch like 20 or 30 videos, they're all about 15, 20 seconds each, just like for good laughs and some banter, and it's quite amazing. So that's how we nowadays, all right, the married stuff. Before though, Sean, since we're all night owls, it'll be like 11:30, 12. It's like, yo, what you doing?
Sure. Sure. And
Right?
that's what I was gonna say. Is like, I mean, you're gonna find ways to kind of socialize around the hospitality lifestyle. So for a lot of people, I mean, that means going out super late, and that also means going to like a lot of bars because like what's gonna be open that late?
Did you do the bar scene? I don't think you did.
No, because I
Right?
because I don't really drink like that. So
Yeah, same here.
and for me also, for the most part, all of the restaurants that I was like working in, I still had a decent commute back home. I mean, even when I was like, I'm just say the closest. I mean, if there was like even when I was in like Lodi and going to Paramus, I was still seeing my wife who was living in New York. So like on in when in my free time, I was going back that way. You
It's
know,
true. I don't know.
trying to make
I
the
guess
most of a life around someone else who's free time is structured 9 to 5.
How does it feel, Sean? Can you just tell me, just vicariously through you, just express
I
it all.
mean, it
Just tell
it
me.
it feels good and it feels different. I mean, it feels honestly, my folks were on a growing up. My folks were on a 9 to 5 schedule, so it kind of feels like what I imagined it was like for them. You go to work, pick up the kids, spend a few hours together before it's time to go to bed, and then you kind of transition into your weekend and your weekend plans. I can definitely say, as far as things with my wife are concerned, it relieves a lot of stress, because
Definitely does.
we're
Yeah.
there to support each other. I won't say all day because she works from home as well, but I mean, even around that, it's just like when there are like childcare issues or family issues, like we can be in contact and in sync. She's not reaching out to me and hoping that I can run off to answer a text message in between dinner
Yeah.
service, right? And then, also be an hour, an hour away if I had to like pick up and, make a move back to the city. So that makes things significantly easier. And also, it's a lot easier to kind of plan things like trips, because again, we know like, hey, this is when we will both have time off. This is what our work responsibilities are like. If we needed to like go somewhere and be somewhere, we could pack up the laptops and try to be productive from some other place. And again, it relieves a lot of the burden. I mean, I'll report to you in 6 months or a year's time to talk about like what it's like to work alongside your significant other. You
Oh
know?
yeah. Because now you're literally in the same workspace,
Yeah, I mean,
pretty
literally,
much. Like she's
her
right
setup's
behind you,
right
pretty much.
behind me. And again, like
Wow.
because of the nature of our work and working in this kind of like connected world, I'm at my computer, I'm here looking at Zooms for meetings. She's doing the same thing too. And then like just like you said, like, there's a half an hour here, 20 minutes there where we can both like kind of pop out, get something to eat, decompress, and then kind of get back to it.
Oh, do you make her meal since you guys are both in the
Dude,
same space?
yes, I make all the meals.
Yeah.
I
Do
make
you
all the
get do you
meals.
get fancy with it? Like, babe, we're having fish
All right,
today,
okay. So here's
wrapped in a
all right.
leaf.
So I will I'll share a secret. So for work, like we have a Slack channel called it's called Corona Kitchen, where you can like kind of people like post pictures of their meals. And what I've been doing is like if I like make her something cool during the middle of the day, I'll just snap a photo and like drop it in that Slack channel to share with everyone.
Ah,
So again,
okay.
It's still an opportunity to keep my skills up. I don't want to like throw away everything that I was doing for all that time.
Of
And I
course.
enjoy it, and I enjoy it a little differently because you're making food for people you love and you care about. And
It's
I know,
okay.
again, I know,
Let out the skills,
I know
bro.
when she's having a rough day. I can literally, you can hear it, you can feel it. The temperature in the room gets a little warmer.
It gets a little warmer.
Sign off. But yeah, nah, man, it's different. It's different.
Wow.
Like I said, there's for what it's worth, and there's still nothing like the sense of accomplishment of getting through that 100 ticket rush, right? Like you bust it through, you look up and down at your cooks, and you're just like, yo, we made it, we did it, you know. And then another ticket comes through, and you're just like, damn, we gotta do it again. But on the other spectrum, there's nothing like making my wife some eggs, and then
Yeah,
like
man.
she loves it. Like I look over it 10 minutes, and like that plate is like damn near empty, and I'm like, yeah, I did that.
That's what's up.
Did
Yeah.
it. I did it, and I got to do
Get to
this
feel
over
the
here
kudos
too.
back then. Yeah, man.
Yeah. It's cool. It's cool.
Now, do you think that same likeness goes towards are front of the house? Because back house is completely different. Like you can have multiple,
Yeah, I mean, I
whatever.
think,
But front of house is like a little more erratic.
I mean, I think
Ish.
they still deal and work in the same environment that we do. The responsibilities are different, but hey, that GM, that AGM, they're still in there and working the same amount of hours you are. They're coming in just about as early as you are. They're leaving just about as late as you are too. And they're also there on the days you are as well. So like they've got to figure that out and navigate that. And if you've got family and or kids or other responsibilities, it's tough to manage that around a world that's slightly out of sync.
Bro, did you know? So we've spoken about Aaron before. We all know him. He's our homie. I
Shout
still
out to Chef
completely.
Aaron.
So he programmed his cooks to do the bulk of the prep. He doesn't need to be in the building until 12:30.
Okay.
And he only works from 12:30 till about 8-ish, 9.
Okay.
That's it. So he's there for the lunch rush, dinner rush, and bounces. And I was asking him, is that by design? Did you do that? Like, how does your labor look like? I didn't really necessarily get to ask him all the specific questions, but he was like, there's enough allotted in the budget for him to only work 5, maximum 6 days and only work like 45 hours. I was just like, wow, that's the dream. I want to do the same thing, Sean. I don't want to work.
Yeah, I mean, again,
I want to work 80 hours,
I think
90 hours.
There's something to be said about pouring in as many hours as you were to the last place you were at. I know it's not for everyone, and I know that it's certainly more valuable if you have like some equity or some personal stake in the growth and success of the business. But like when you don't, it gets even harder because all that time that you're putting into that place is time that you're not going to get to put into other parts of your life. And there's got to be some measure of balance for that. And you still need to work and contribute enough to be compensated enough to handle your life outside that place, but you can't just be in there. And I know for sure when I would talk about things like this with my wife, it's hard to kind of separate yourself from being responsible to the business that you're doing or the people that you work with. But there's got to be balance for that too. Because again, that energy and effort that you're pouring into that is like, maybe it's not energy and effort that you're pouring into your family. And even if that's not in a malicious way, it's like you only have but so much of that resource. You only have so much time. Maybe you can make more money or make less money and, figure out a better way to balance it.
Now, the all-time question, Sean. We all know this. We've seen plenty of memes about this. It's always the dishwashers always talking to the hosts. Or just the line cooks always trying to holler at the wait staff.
Sure.
How do I program this question? How can they make that work? Sean, how do you think?
Wow. Well, look, man, I feel like this is. You want some dating tips? Like, is that what
I'm saying?
I mean, I know you
That's
don't
what
need
it
any
is.
because you're you're
I mean,
locked in and
I'll
I'm
tell
locked
you.
in too. I mean,
I'll tell you how.
Okay, so this is how I feel about this.
Just explain
Generally,
like,
it's not
as if you're
like,
saying it to
personally,
like a line cook.
Like I said, personally, I think it's always gonna be a little complicated to like mix and mingle, where you work, and that's no shade to you because I know you made it work. You made it you made it work. Your wife is great. Yeah, I love her and I love you guys and I wish for your success. But if you take that, you step away from that. I mean, I think making it happen with anyone is honestly just comes down to Well, if they're not attracted to you, it's a tough sell. But if they are and you have that base level, it's just like, all right, like, do you have confidence? Do you know why someone would be interested in spending some time with you? You know, if you know that and it's genuine, you can bank on that and hope that the person that you're trying to spend some time with is willing to share some of that time with you, and then you go from there. And then in every opportunity that you get to spend time and interact, man, you just try to have some fun. And if there's an opportunity to build on it, you build on it. And if it's not, at least you had some fun, and hopefully everyone treated each other with respect, and you can kind of go a different way if it's not going to be the way it was going to be together.
But then, Sean, you can be like, but I know how to cook.
Well, sure. There you go, right? Like,
flambe.
And this is what I'm saying is like, look, it doesn't matter like what you do or who you are. Like, do you have confidence in that? Like, do you have confidence in your ability to do this thing? Do you think that's of value to someone? I mean, if it is, again, you leverage that as an opportunity to see if someone wants to spend some time with you. But, that's just your foot in the door, and then you go from there. But I mean, it's not a guarantee of anything, right? Like, you could be you could be the best cook. Like, you could be the best cook and be prepared to offer someone a great evening, and a great meal, but like, you're not interesting, so like, it doesn't even matter, right? Like, you still need to like have some of those other intangibles, and that's what we're saying. It's like, hopefully the other person is at least at front a little attracted to you, and you can kind of go and build upon that. But I think ultimately, I find that if you don't have some baseline level of self-esteem based upon knowing what value you could add to someone else's life, and again, it's like, and by value, it can mean as little or as much as you want it to, right?
But I give you extra fries, Sean.
Look, again, don't get fried. Don't get fried for them extra fries. Are they your fries? If they're not your fries, man, don't get put out for offer some other fries. But
remember, oh my God, who was our other cook that used to do that? One of our, if you can remember this, Sean, when we were kitchen managers a long time ago, I forget who it was. Well, regardless, he used to like this one to this one server, and the one server always used to ask him for fries, and he was like, "Yo, I put extra fries for you," so you could have. I'm like, "Yo, what are you doing?" Like,
again,
the fries ain't gonna get you.
You know
but
what?
I get it.
But
you know what?
Look, maybe they would. Maybe extra fries from that person would. But maybe extra fries from someone else wouldn't. Right? That's just how it goes. It's just how it goes. Like, there's no hard and fast rule when it comes to attracting someone or getting them to spend some time with you.
I think the bottom line is, to make it work, you're gonna want to really work on yourself and to manage the time and just make it so all parties are involved. Literally, even though you're working 14, 15 stupid hours in one building, you still need to save the space when you get home for your significant others. Because other than if you're not able to do that, it's tough. It's just ain't gonna go anywhere.
And also, again, even in that circumstance, it's not just about you, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, because you're still gonna be interacting with, if someone is not on the same schedule as you are, you need to be understanding that, like, they might not necessarily have the time around your schedule for you. And, depending on the people and depending on the relationship, that can be a deal breaker. It could be a fulcrum, man. Again, I got very, very lucky that my wife was as accepting as she was for as long as she was.
Mm.
Like
Wow,
I don't.
your wife used to tell me when she got to the building.
Yeah. I'm telling you. Look,
Sean has been here all day.
And again, look, and I'm telling you, look, if you had that conversation, what conversation you think I had, right? Like, you got the cliff notes, man.
I got the full. So.
I got the unedited manuscript, man.
Oh man, yeah.
Loose leaf
Bless
binder.
your wife, man.
Yeah, she's the best, the best.
She's amazing. One of these days I'll tell a story how. Well, I think I briefly mentioned it when we both try to surprise you on your little birthday with her text to me. I think it's just the cutest, funniest thing ever that I've ever had the pleasure of experiencing. I was just like, what is going on in her brain? But you know what? I'll go with it. I'm all for it. I'm down for it. But
she's the best.
Yeah, she is, man.
No, I'm lucky. We're all lucky to be in her grace.
Wish you guys were closer, or vice versa, so we all can just.
Oh yeah, man.
All the time, bro.
Well, like I said, I work from home. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. If you got Wi-Fi, I'll just come by your house on day off.
Oh my goodness! All right, nothing too crazy. Just take it from two chefs how on different perspectives on how to manage. Trying to spend some more time with your significant other, because that's literally the catchphrase of it. Like, you're trying to, because you're pouring yourself out at the other location. So much time needs to go there to make it function, but at the same time, that's just half of it. That's not even where your home is. So it's just like how you can manage that together. That's the fine line. So that's the ultimate, I think, tip for everybody that's going to try this. Hopefully you don't have to go through such pain. It can work. Okay, I met my wife during my tenure at my restaurant. We made it work that way, and we're still together. Sean, he was, I don't think you were already married.
No. I got married after I started working with you guys. Like, I feel like it was like it was like 2 years, right 2.5 years after that point, because I came over there in 2014. I came back to Jersey, New York area. Yeah, man. It was some happy times at that location. It's sad. Kayla and I passed by there the other day, at the old locale, because we were passing through to go to ShopRite, which is right behind it. Yeah, right over there. It's all boarded up. I don't know what's going to be there. She said it's it's agreed that Seasons 52 will be opening there. So another seafood joint that's owned by her former company, the Darden location. Gotcha. It's in the same it's like, I forget what steak. It's Bahambree's. What else is it? Capital Grill. Eddie V's. There's one more. Seasons 52, also in the same likeness. Well, Casey, if they're gonna put another seafood joint there, I know, right? I should just go get the gang all together. just call everyone up, man. Spot. Yeah, really. Yeah, that's, my wife is in the background. She's like, "That's what I told him." It's like, yes, that would be ideal. We'll see. I don't know. It's in the future, right? It's just seafood, Sean. However, if this pans out that I'm allergic to it and I can't be near it, I don't know. I made it work. It can be done. I'm just saying, look, listen, I have a doctor's thing for this. Can't touch it. Right. Touch everything else but the shellfish. Y'all can mess with that, but it's not a seafood place. What do you mean it's not a seafood place? What is Seasons 52 then? Yeah, what is Seasons 52? It's like half-half? So it's a steakhouse. Okay. I see. I need to do some more homework. Maybe Sean, maybe it can work. Because if there's steak in there,
A little less seafood. The only if it's part steakhouse, literally it'll be like what? Shrimp, salmon, bass. Probably some oysters to shuck, which I won't be happy with. Oh man, I don't want to shuck, I don't want to shuck oysters ever again. That's part of my life.
I'm looking at their menu right now. They're leading.
Do they have oysters?
Some flatbreads and soups.
Is it like Americana?
Rainbow? Yeah, rainbow trout.
Kaylin said Americana, yeah.
Pork chops. Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Fillets. Mm-hmm. Yeah, looks pretty cool.
So half steakhouse-ish.
Yeah.
He said yeah. Bye. Love your face. I'll be there in a bit. So as we close though, Sean, how can we get to the moon, Sean? I almost made it to the moon. Okay, so I just want to say this, right? Last week, I made the same play. I made $200 just by betting the stock to itself. Mm-hmm. Free money to me. This week, I'm like, I think it's gonna happen again, but the ever slight percentage, I'm like, maybe it's gonna go up. I'm gonna put my fate into your hands for next week, Sean. What do you think I should do?
I think you should take all of your money out of the market and put it on the Brooklyn Nets to beat the Celtics.
Yo, oh my God! Can we just talk about the Nets for a second?
Just yeah.
What is happening with the Nets? Like it's like contender number 1 right now. It's like bananas. Like what is going on? What happened to the whole? I think it's just gelling. Is that what it is?
Well,
like everybody's working
here's the thing.
in fantastic
like,
motion.
The NBA has been very weird this year. Obviously, they were playing in arenas, but most teams were significantly impacted by COVID-19, either diagnoses or precautions. So there was like a lot of games for a lot of teams this year where most of their stars had to sit or players weren't there. They're just rotating all these lineups. And the Nets in particular, they're fortunate to have 3 of the top 15 players in the NBA on their team. But because of like COVID, there were only 8 games or something where like all 3 of those guys played. Now all 3 of those guys are playing and they're just destroying teams.
Destroying.
Destroying. And also, the Boston Celtics, who they happen to be playing, are one of their players got hurt right before the playoffs. Another guy who is playing was hurt most of the season. And yeah, it's just, it would be a tough fight and pretty unreasonable to think that they would beat this juggernaut of a Nets team. So if you want to go to the moon, my man, take it all out the market.
On the Nets.
Go to DraftKings or whatever, slap it down on these Brooklyn Nets and get an easy but short return on your investment.
I was mentioning this to you. On any of the accounts, no matter where you open it, $25,000 is the max, or actually is the minimum for you to be able to bet daily on stocks on a consistent basis.
Sure.
If I would have held out today, if I didn't do what I did, I would have left with a cool, in total, $32,000 in my bank account.
I mean, it sounds nice.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it sounds nice.
But like I told you before, look, I know you saw some gains. It wasn't what it could have been, but it was still something. And like I told you before, when you're playing with AMC, man, you making bread and you didn't have to pop no popcorn. You didn't have to sweep up, any napkins or... you know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't have to kick some awkward teenagers out of the back row for making out and getting weird. You didn't have to do none of that. So enjoy your gains, and maybe another day will be a little bit more fruitful. But it's still a come up, man. Enjoy.
It's like it was within my grasp. That's what I was just trying to say. This is my version. This is my version of washed up Sean. I was like, I should have known.
I tell you, man, you
should have known.
You're dipping your hands in the river, man. Like, appreciate that your hands are getting clean.
That's true.
You couldn't take it all with you anyway.
Yeah. That's true. I'm gonna die, and then off it goes somewhere. I don't know where, but it goes somewhere. Okay. Other than that, though, be safe. I'll let you know about next week. Next week, Sean, I'm not gonna be around next week. Just FYI.
Okay. Yeah, no problem.
Wifey and I are on our anniversary week.
Ooh.
And then we're gonna go away.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Ooh.
man. Little escapade.
Oh boy. Guess those calendars synced up, man.
Yeah. We'll be back Saturday, maybe.
Hey.
I think Saturday or Sunday. Let's see.
Boy.
Let's see. Yeah.
Mm.
We'll see how many bottles we drown on that on that day. But other than that, calendar wise, Memorial Day.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
we got Memorial Day, and then Father's Day after that, right?
And Father's Day right after that. In terms of restaurant wise, it depends, but nothing really.
Yeah.
Father's Day, literally just have steaks. Have as much protein in the
sure
building
your
as you
grill
can.
is hot.
That's literally it.
That's it.
Dad'd be like, I want mashed potatoes and a steak.
Can I get the steak?
Done.
I'll take the steak and the lager, please.
Get it well done, please, while you're at it. Oh my God.
I don't even need a plate.
Used to irk me. I was just like, why even order it? But you know what? Your money. Who am I to tell you?
That's it, man.
You want to pay $40 for this? Absolutely.
That's the daddy experience, man. I'm looking forward to getting my Father's Day steak. I was the one making it, man.
Oh my God.
I might just get one just on GP. I'm gonna go find a steak. Then you better eat it all.
Yeah. It's okay. I'll send you the Aldi check so you can get a steak.
Perfect.
Other than that, nothing too crazy. You can catch Sean at Twitter at MetroCardX. You can ask any questions, anything. Please email us at AskChefSalty. Oh my God, I can't talk. AskChefSalty at gmail.com. And any of our video podcasts or any of our stream medias, you can find where all your podcasts reside, or on YouTube at Chef Salty Pork Podcast. But other than that, from us,
peace out, Internet.